Welcome to week 5 of our garden tours. Definitely not as hot as last Sunday. Last Sunday was so uncomfortable to be outside, but it is a warm one. But it's a little bit cooler. It's like only 83, but in Tennessee that feels like 93 because of the humidity. But we have a lot of cucumbers to harvest today. A lot of new things growing in the garden that we've been waiting on, and then we're actually going to direct sow some of our first things for the fall garden that take a little bit longer to grow, that'll be ready to harvest in the fall. So should be a fun one today. I'm ready to get out there and get in the garden and just play around. So our cool weather crop actually is still hanging in there. So I'm still gonna harvest some more off of it today. And then I've decided which ones I'm going to leave to let go to seed, to save seeds for next year from. And it's gonna be these back two. That way we can go ahead and once these are ready to be and through their season, we can go ahead and pull them out, and then we'll have a lot of space to plant our fall garden here, because right here we had more dragon tongue beans all the way down, but only that one plant survived, and it's not even doing very well, which is really disappointing. I just wonder if it was something to do with not direct sowing them, because they were transplanted, so maybe they didn't take very well. But we'll have basically this whole garden bed open to put some fall crops in. So our okras are really starting to take off. You saw just then what their blooms look like, which are just so beautiful. And over here we have our first few. This little guy is doing great. And then I think what this is actually how the bloom opens, because it's much different in feeling compared to this one. So we have a few of those showing up. We don't talk much about this Brussels sprout plant just because I'm really curious to see how it does, because they are one that you can technically grow all year long, but they do much better in the fall. But you can see that it has little bulbs showing up on the stalk, so we'll see how big they get, and it may just take off more once it's in the fall time. Our tomato plants are doing really good. We have some really big fruit showing up and a lot of new little ones. And our cherry is just setting off tons that are starting to ripen, and just we're gonna be covered in cherry tomatoes here soon. So if you guys remember last week, we talked about this one was struggling with pest issues. It had those little black specks all over it, and I actually came down here and just sprayed it off with water, and it's doing so much better. There's no black spots on it, and it's looking like it's doing really well. So it's starting to put off its fruit. This is a purple Cherokee tomato, so it'll have really big fruits on it. So I'm actually going to harvest quite a lot of basil today because we are having pesto from our garden, so made from our garden tonight with pasta. So we're gonna need quite a bit of it because we have about 5 people eating. So I'm really excited to start using some of this basil fresh. I've just been drying it out for storage purposes before this, and it's gonna be so delicious. how big these basil leaves are. This is Baker Creek's lettuce leaf, and it just gives off ginormous leaves and quite a lot. It produces quite a lot, so I will definitely be growing this again. We're gonna have quite a lot of chili peppers popping up soon. And our candy canes and our Anaheims are doing really well. Our tomato plants on this side that got hit by the frost are doing really, really well still. They are setting off fruit, lots of new blossoms. So I'm really pumped that those did okay, because then we'll have a lot more that we're able to preserve this year. That would have been really saddening to have our tomato haul hit because of that late frost that we got. I don't know if you guys can see this, but our cucumbers are full of bees right now because there's so many blossoms all over it, and we are going to be covered in cucumbers soon, which I'm so excited about because I love pickles, and we're gonna can a lot. A bee literally just landed on my hand. Just so many blooms. So, not sure if I showed you this last week. I know we talked about the squash plants not doing so hot. Last week we came out and we found the squash plant covered, guys, like a horror movie covered in squash bugs. So we bought some diatomaceous earth, which is completely organic and natural, and we sprinkled it all over our squash plants and all over our zucchini plants because we saw a few eggs on them, just to help avoid it spreading. And there's definitely way, way, way less. Like, I only can count on my hand how many bugs I see. Compared to last week, it was like hundreds, which was horrifying. So I'm glad, because on this one you can see some really happy new green leaves popping up. So it looks like it's doing much better already. Look at these big boys. Big. We are gonna have some really good slicing tomatoes soon. These will probably start ripening up. It even looks like this one's starting to blush a little bit. These will probably start ripening up in the next week or so. Okay, I'm hiding in the shade so I can look at my camera and talk to you guys. Our zinnias are really growing up on one side, so I've learned that it's really good to cut the top off of them, because instead of them growing just like straight up with one stalk, they'll produce many little stalks under where I've cut, and that will create a stronger plant, and it will also create more stalks, which will then create more blooms. So it's a really hard thing to do because it's been so exciting watching them grow, and it feels really counterproductive to like top them, but with flowers there's a really different approach that you take to it, and so this will actually be better for them down the road, and create a more prolific plant and flower, and it'll hopefully give us a lot more blooms. Okay, so like you can see, this one's gotten pretty tall. It even looks like it's already starting to put off a bloom. And this is really short, so I don't want it to put off a bloom yet. So I'm gonna cut it off about probably just like right here, because it looks like there's already some little extra stems being put off right there. That was hard. I did not like doing that. So we'll do that across for all of these. Our compost pile where we add a lot of our scraps from the kitchen, the yard, coffee filters. So and we just turn it over into this empty one. And you all can learn all about the process. We're no geniuses at these and don't have a whole lot of knowledge, but we're just doing what we can. Okay, our last thing we're gonna do today is we're gonna plant our first broccolis. These need quite a while to grow. So you want to plant them about 85 to 100 days before your first expected frost date. So it's about time to do that. So we're going to go ahead and plant them in between where the snap peas are, because I may want to sow more peas there. So these are a smaller variety. They should be okay to be planted in between those. And if not, I will move the snap peas and it'll be okay. And just a learn as you go experience. But right now, that is the space I have available. It's a really good space for it because it gets shade right about now, so they don't get full sun all day. And these seedlings are gonna be pretty sensitive, so I wanna make sure that they're in the best spot they can be. Something I forgot to show you guys. Our sunflower heads are already leaning over, which means that you can kind of see they're starting to form their sunflower seeds. So we will wrap this up soon, like in a cloth, because once it completely dries up, the head will fall off and we'll have all the seeds left over. What a great day in the garden. So much to harvest. I actually have like a full basket this time. It was definitely warm, but it wasn't unbearable. Just what I needed to just get my hands in the dirt and let my mind do whatever it needed to do. Just a really great day. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys.